Getting into the next topic, getting into another sports topic for those who don't know, Super Bowl 54 is right around the corner this Sunday. And we have the teams going up are my 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, and we have the Kansas City Chiefs. And tonight we're going to get, or this episode, excuse me, getting everything mixed up because post-production, and we're on stream right now. But anyways, we're going to get into just our preview of the Super Bowl and our predictions of what we think how the game is going to play out, just by how the teams have performed over the season. So I'm going to give one of you guys the floor if anybody else wants to start.
All right, I'll kick this off. All right, let me get my best sports voice in here. Well, no. But my prediction, I'm going to have to give it, I feel like the 49ers, based off their performance against Green Bay, I feel like they're going to be the ones to take this thing because, so far, if you look at the record, that Green Bay game, they held Green Bay zero. It was either 0 or 3 points. I think it was literally 0 the entire first half.
The first half, they had no points at all. They shut them out the first half.
That's real. That's dominant. I mean, obviously, Green Bay is going to really dig in deep the second half because they don't want to go out like chumps. But for them to hold them down for that long, that's really impressive. I mean, there's not much I could say. And then their offense is pretty high-powered, too. Once they get going, it's hard to stop them. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I can tell you that firsthand. Yeah, for sure. But, dude, that freaking... I'm like... Going back to the first game of when we played the Packers and how much we blew them out, I think that score was like 37-8. And I was just like, okay, going into the playoffs, I'm not gonna get big-headed here and gonna be like, oh, we're gonna blow them out again, or just give them like the same type of score that we did in the regular season, because anything can happen in the postseason. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna stay humble for a little bit, even though everybody's been doubting us all freaking season. Gonna stay humble a little bit and see how this plays out. And dude, I was so freaking hyped that night, just seeing. Oh my lord, I don't know, but that was a dominant performance from the 49ers that night. But
yeah, Raheem went in. They had no answer.
And I'm gonna get into a little bit too. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit of that. But yeah, for those just for my prediction, you already know. So you seen that I have a freaking Jimmy G icon for those that can see it through in the video or on stream. You have the Jimmy G icon, so you already know I'm going for the 49ers. And I can predict, as far as my prediction for the score, I honestly can predict the score 27-24. I feel like this game is going to be pretty close. Just because, even though we do have the upper hand as far as our defense is freaking nasty. I think we have like 4 first rounders on our starting lineup. And I don't know, our freaking defensive line is nasty, dude. Oh my gosh, I can't. That's one of the biggest things that we need. Defense wins games. That's almost like my motto. But we have a good defense, really good offense. We have a good tight end in George Kittle. Have good, interchangeable running backs in Mostert, Coleman, Breida, all that good stuff. Jimmy G is a pretty good quarterback too. He's a pretty good quarterback that works in the system. The main person that doesn't really get a lot of credit, I feel like he should get more of. Also, we do have a good star rookie in Deebo Samuel. He's really good. Emmanuel Sanders, we got a good pickup from him during the trade deadline. And but yeah, I think the people that don't, well, the person doesn't really get enough credit is Kyle Shanahan in his play calling, because his play calling really does a lot. It does work a lot of wonders in making all these different plays and stuff to keep really people guessing on their toes and stuff like that when it comes to the play calling in the game. And if you don't know, he is the son of Mike Shanahan, who is also a coach in the NFL, and he's a pretty spectacular coach also. But Yeah. And knowing prior to the head coaching job in, for the San Francisco 49ers, prior to that, Kyle Shanahan was a offensive coordinator for the Falcons, and then that one year they went to the Super Bowl. So he definitely knows what he's doing. He definitely knows what he's doing, and I'm pretty sure he's taken those mistakes from that Super Bowl run against the Patriots and kind of intermingled it into this run and seeing what he can do, and how to basically just learning from his mistakes and moving forward with that. But yeah, he's really done really good all season. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit, but I really feel like this game is going to be really close, just for the simple fact that you can't really count out Patrick Mahomes. This dude is a freaking beast. Like, this dude is so freaking good. He has a great arm. You can't really count him out. He has some really good receivers too. But I feel like
good energy.
Yeah, he really does bring energy. And whenever they need that boost or that momentum, it's really proven, like, in this playoffs. Like, they've been down between the Texans, and they were down against the Titans at one point. And whenever they needed, like, that momentum starter, he was the main one to give them that momentum starter. And then that's when they kept it ever since then. And they've been spectacular. But I feel like the difference, I feel like our defensive line is gonna be, like, really good. I feel like we've been performing really good all season, and I don't see why they wouldn't, try to limit Patrick Mahomes or, just the receivers or whatnot on offensive line. And along with that, along with trying to stop the offensive line for the Chiefs, we just need to make sure that we, what's the word? We just need to make sure that we convert on offensive line also, and not really giving, the defense what they want is, not many points on the board. But I feel like it's going to be a really good game. I feel like it's going to be a really close, hard grit game. Yeah. And I feel like with our defense and Kyle Shanahan's play calling, that's going to take us over the edge. And, I'm going to go ahead and let Faz get into it before I have something else to say, too, as far as the critics out there. In the NFL, the NFL experts.
Oh no, I ain't worried about NFL critics, but hey, I'm about to be that guy that says the fucking Chiefs are gonna win. All right.
Hey, we gotta have some change in here. Hey, I feel it.
All right. The only reason is just based off of all these, like, different, like, statistics. All right, this is just going off of fucking ESPN. Okay, like, I'm like on this shit, right? And their victory is 64.8% of its simulations by an average of 5 points. All right, by an average of 5 points, and they did this a few times. All right, and it said that has like 108 experts weighed in. The Chiefs were favored by 68, which is 63% of them. All right, and the 49ers only got 40 votes.
Jeez.
All right, but the thing is, like, I'm only going by that because of, like, from what I've been seeing, like, the Chiefs have a dynamic defense. All right, and you have to get past that defense. Like, I don't care how good your offense is. If they have a strong defense, your offense don't mean shit.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, like, yeah, the stats. I mean, kind of like. I mean, they're almost like the same.
So are you saying, Fez, don't underestimate the walrus, Andy Reid?
Big Red.
Because that man thirsty. Reid is thirsty for the Super Bowl, man. After losing to the Patriots, man, he wants.
You already know I got, like, the devil on both sides. All right, one of them saying I want the Chiefs to win. The other one is saying, man, fuck the Chiefs, man. They don't deserve to have any damn things. All right, like, I ain't even saying nothing bad about the Niners because I know the Niners. I mean, it's been a while, man. They need something.
Look, it's not been too long. The last time we've been to the Super Bowl was 2012 versus the Chiefs. They've been without a Super Bowl, at least a Super Bowl berth, within 50 years or so. It's been that long. So it's not that much of a drought for the 49ers, but I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are really itching for this one a lot more because it's been that much of a drought.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like, when was the last time you actually heard that, like, Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Not very often.
Well, if you can find that real quick, because I'm trying to, like, I really am thinking that there was like a major profile person that was quarterback back then that actually did give a shit about the game. You know, I'm trying to find that,
but yeah, going back to the as far as the I think you brought up the stats within the differential between, you know, favorable wins between the Chiefs and the 49ers, and saying that the Chiefs had about roughly 65% basically, or 60%. And I feel like the main reason why the differential was so big and giving more favoritism to the Chiefs is because they really are focusing more on a quarterback, because they know how elite Patrick Mahomes is. And in today's age, they're really, what I've seen all season, they're really trying to like push towards the trend of like a quarterback era per se. Because, you know, for a good while, or back then, they were like really more focused on like whoever's catching the ball, dealing with like the tight end or the wide receivers and stuff. But I can definitely see the dynamic within the NFL, and basically just seeing, you know, people like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, he was doing pretty good this season too, MVP season. But yeah, they've switched the dynamic and try to switch over the dynamic over to more so the quarterback era, and try to like really put a lot of focus on the quarterback. And they see how this is Jimmy G's first full NFL season as a starter, and he's good. I will give him like Jimmy G is good, but he's not, you know, spectacular or like really great as like all these quarterbacks are. But he doesn't really need to be that great, but it's because of the system that Kyle Shanahan has set up. And I think people really overlook that as far as just the system, you know, with Kyle Shanahan running the football. Look, there's like kind of going back to the Packers game and that. Because Jimmy G had about 8 total passes and like 6 completions, and people in the media were kind of like, oh, why did Jimmy G have this many passes, or like basically just not giving enough credit. But it's like, if you can run the ball successfully, why would you try to pass the ball in the first place? It's kind of like, don't break what you like. If you can't, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say as far as the analogy. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And I don't know. I feel like they've always tried to like out Jimmy G. I don't know why. Especially Stephen A. That dude been shafting on freaking Jimmy G all season. But yeah, it's just kind of like, I feel like they really give more favoritism to that because how elite Patrick Mahomes is. And I'm not gonna give, you know, I'm not gonna sway away and, you know, discredit Patrick Mahomes because he's really that good. That dude is a beast. But as far as an overall system and as an overall team, the 49ers have the edge just for the pieces that they have on offense and defense.
Right. Because like Mahomes, as dominant as he is, see, the thing is, he's powerful all around. I mean, the fact that he can not only throw the ball, but then he's also very mobile too. And he brings a lot of energy to the table when it comes to the Chiefs. It's like, if I would tell you one thing right now after seeing that KC game, if Patrick Mahomes did not bring the energy that he brought to that team on that game, they clearly would have lost that.
He's a starter for that. Yeah, he needs to be the energy bringer for that team, because if not, that's a done deal. Right.
So it's going to be a defensive game. Whose defense is going to crack first? I feel like it's going to be one of those kind of games right there.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I mean, just by looking at the statistics, basically, I feel like it might be the Chiefs that just crack first, just because our defense is second in the NFL, and we've been like doing really good. We have who do they have on the defensive end? We have Sherman, cornerback. We have defensive end in Bosa, D Ford, Qual Alexander, think Tart is on defense. Yeah, Tart's on defensive. We just have many pieces. We just have many pieces on defensive end that that'll back stuff up. But
kind of like how hold down.
Right.
You want to hear your stats for the Chiefs?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, the last time they were actually in the Super Bowl, all right, was the last time they won it, which was January 11th, 1970.
Ooh,
Jeez,
1970.
that's
Ooh, so that is about. Hold up.
boy.
And it's
Yeah,
2020.
It's too real.
No, I'm gonna give you some stats here because they have AFL championships. Basically, they won in Super Bowl 4, all right, but they won in 62, 66, and the 69 season. So that championship game, they went against the Minnesota Vikings and beat them, and that they haven't been back to the Super Bowl since. So 50 years, we're watching history here. You feel me? 50 years ago is the last time they won.
That is
Super Bowl 4.
Ooh, that's crazy.
This Super Bowl gonna be bloody red, man. If you, for real, red all over, boy.
No, they're gonna be just like Boston of like football. That's what they're gonna turn into, is the Boston of football. Or actually, now they're gonna become the Astros of football. Ha ha.
We're gonna get to that in a second, but I'm gonna address something real quick. I see in the chat, basically saying how Seahawks fans are upset about Richard Sherman, the quarterback for 49ers, saying how upset, basically how they're just upset that he went to the rival team. Because for those who don't know, 49ers and the Seahawks are rivals within the division. And to be quite honest, I'm going to debug this a little bit because I've actually learned this stuff over the course of the past couple of months.
Okay.
Honestly, here's where it starts at. It starts where Richard Sherman was still in college playing football at Stanford, and our then coach, Jim Harbaugh, he was coaching with not coaching, he was the coach of Stanford too. So they were on the same team and whatnot. And when it came to the NFL draft, basically, Jim Harbaugh really didn't give. He basically kind of like two-faced Sherman and all that. And so he basically didn't give him the credit and all that, as far as like, basically because you basically just not giving him the credit that he needed or deserved, being a prospect going into the NFL. And so basically they had like a basically just left a shoulder, like a cold shoulder, a bad taste in his mouth with Sherman. And so basically he held that grudge from Jim Harbaugh ever since then. It just got to the point to where Seattle drafted Sherman and Jim Harbaugh became the coach for the 49ers, and that's where you really see kind of like that bad blood started. But Richard Sherman basically said if he was gonna be or if the 49ers end up drafting and whatnot, even if Jim Harbaugh was the coach, he probably wouldn't have been there, just because of the bad blood that Jim Harbaugh and Richard Sherman had, just because of that stuff happening. But that's why he really got like a bad reputation in the beginning, just the antics that he done, and just the bad blood, and seeing that display between those games between the 49ers and the Seahawks. But once his contract went up and with the Seattle Seahawks, and they weren't trying to match him, they weren't trying to give him enough money, so it's kind of like, what, I'm basically gonna go back home, because he's basically from the California area, and so he basically just saw the opportunity to come to San Francisco, and basically that's where history is made from that point. But yeah, I didn't realize like the bad blood between. I thought he was just acting out to be acting out. No, it was basically just the bad blood between Jim Harbaugh and the actions that he done toward Richard Sherman prior to the NFL, knowing that he coached him and all that, and basically just disregarded him and whatnot, and he basically just held it on from since then. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and address that, because I know some people might not know, because I didn't know until I'd done my research and all that, but it was a nice little fact. But what do you guys' score for this game? I don't think I've heard you guys' score for the game or your predictions.
Yeah, I want to hear Vengeance because it's probably gonna be like some random ass number. And he's gonna think about
How dare you?
You're gonna be like, oh, it'll be 47-25.
Oh heck no, man! There's no way. I better not get a daggone Super Bowl game where it's gonna be a blowout victory.
That's not gonna be fun.
Watching Super Bowl games that are just straight blowout.
Hey, I got blessed with the Denver versus Carolina. I got
Either
at least. I would say, if I was since I'm going for the Niners here, I feel like it could be one of those. I feel like this game might be a low scoring game. I would say maybe. Ooh, I don't know what to call this. Maybe like 27-23. I freaking have no idea how.
Yeah, that 27-23.
okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm thinking 30-27 Chiefs, just because. Yeah, that sounds like a good number right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I definitely do not see a blowout from any team, like at all. I don't expect it for the 49ers. It would be nice, but I don't expect it. Nor do I expect a blowout from the Chiefs. It's because they're both really good teams. So I'm not expecting a blowout. It would suck. It would suck experience a blowout in the Super Bowl. Either that or like last year with the Rams and the Patriots, where that game went by slow as heck with their defense. And they didn't pick up to like the fourth quarter. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, since you're like a heavy duty like Niners fan, what would you do if they got blown out by a team that hasn't been in the Super Bowl for 50 years? What would you do to all of your memorabilia for San Francisco?
I mean, I'm keeping it, of course. I've literally been a fan since I've been born. I've been born into this tradition, basically. But I mean, look, it's two great teams, so I can't really. I'll be sad, of course, but we still have kind of like some room to build up on in the future.
Would you cry though?
Probably. I'll be pissed because when we went to the Super Bowl back in 2012 with the Blackout Bowl with the two Harbaugh brothers, and we were starting off really trash. Then the blackout went out. Then we picked up the pace, and then we had that one pass that should have been pass interference. That probably would have got us to the promised land, and that didn't go through. I was pissed. I was upset that night. But
you want to know how petty I am? You
go ahead.
First.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give y'all the reason why I'm going with the 49ers anyway. Petty shit.
I'm ready for this.
The main reason why I'm siding with the 49ers is because they beat the shit out of Green Bay. I'm sorry I said it like that, but they beat the shit out of Green Bay, and they did a hell of a job doing that. That made me feel good.
Oh yeah.
That made me feel
No, I was on the real. Like, I was about to ask you which Madden, but thank you for explaining. Which Madden, man? Which Madden was it? Damn it. Personal reason. This is personal. We all know this goes back to video games. We don't play something.
Oh no, it's not video games, bro. This is freaking a Bears fan, bro. And if the Bears aren't going, Green Bay ain't going. That's how petty it is.
Yeah. I don't blame you on that one. I do not blame you. But yeah, this game is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one because you don't know how it's gonna turn out because the teams are both that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready for the game.
Excited.
I'm excited. I'm pumped for it.
And then no Patriots in the Super Bowl this time. Just some teams that need some shine, my dude. That's why this is exciting.
Woo!